Featherweight bout, Steve Garcia coming in at plus 185 against Melquizael Costa, sitting at minus 225. Over under 1.5 rounds, minus 160 for the over, plus 130 for the under. Steve Garcia, 6 feet, you see there on the screen. Melky only 2 inches shorter. So both guys pretty good frame for the featherweight division. And then Steve Garcia, 3-2 in his last 5. Melky Costa, 3-2 in his last 5 as well. Garcia coming off a big knockout win, UFC 287 over Shailen Erdenbecky. If you watch Steve Garcia fight, they're always entertaining. Like the guy, it seems like if you touch his chin, it affects him, but he has a way of just getting around it. He's a pressure fighter. He's going to get in your face, throw hard with his hands. He's going to rip a really solid body kick, maybe go up high, southpaw. He's just going to put the pressure on you early. I mean, he's knocked out Shailen in his last fight, knocked out Chase Hooper in the first round before that. And then the fight before that, he got knocked out. So we've seen him get hurt before in a lot of his fights. Costa, his last time out, just absolutely dominated Austin Lingo to get his first UFC win. And that was a fight where Lingo, super boxing heavy, Melky Costa used a lot of kicks and different weapons to get that win there in dominant fashion. But before that, made his debut against Moises. He gets choked out in the second round. That was at 155. So you could see the difference there when he goes down to 145, a lot bigger, better frame for 145. And that's definitely his home there. It's a fun matchup. I think this is an underrated fight on the card because Garcia is going to bring the heat. Costa, very good striker as well, does have submission skills as well. So it's going to be a fun fight. I'm really looking forward to this one. Who you got?
Yeah, the striking is going to be a lot of fun. And for Steve Garcia, last few fights, he's looked really good. One, obviously, against Chase Hooper. Found the finish. Dropped him, 3 times in that fight. He's very powerful. But Chase Hooper's not a striker. And then against Erdenbecky's a tough guy. And Erdenbecky had Steve Garcia, when he landed that shot in the first round, I thought Garcia was out cold. And then he hits the canvas, kind of wakes up, and was able to survive that. And, finally get him into his guard and wrap up and just survive. And go into the second round, and he knocks him out and gets the finish. And that's the thing about Steve Garcia is, like, if you can't put him out early in the fight, he's going to be there all 3, tired or not. He's going to march forward, and he's going to throw. And if he connects, like, the power is obviously there. We've seen it. And I think his past, 4 wins counting Contender Series, all are by knockout. Like, the dude is not a small guy for this division either. And for Melky Costa, has the win over Austin Lingo by decision. I just don't know if that warrants him being the favorite in this fight or not. Austin Lingo is a good boxer, but that's about the extent of it. Costa in that fight did very good work to the body. The body kicks were brutal, and he throws them on repeat. Like, he'll throw 4 at a time at some points in fights, which does make it tough. But, Garcia, as far as the wrestling and grappling goes, he's not a slouch by any means. He averages 1.5 per fight, and his takedown defense is damn good at 94%. So I don't see Costa coming out here and taking him down by any means and having a ton of success. If anything, I could see Garcia catching a few kicks, taking Costa down, and then probably Costa working back up to his feet, and they reset. It's just interesting, man. Garcia is the underdog, is always a wild card because of the power. I like it a lot. Costa's still a little bit inexperienced as far as UFC caliber and UFC level fighters go. He beat Austin Lingo, and that's it. So for that reason, I got to take Garcia. I got to take the power here, and hope he clips him at some point. Could be a little parlay buster. Could be a good dog cash. So I'm going to be taking him.
Yeah, I like Melky Costa. He showed a lot of good skills in his last time out. And this one, if he wants to win this fight, I think he's got to make it boring, which is not fun for the fans. But for him to get a win, I think he's just got to stay at kicking range. Don't engage in these wild boxing exchanges that Steve Garcia is going to look for, and stay off his back, because Steve Garcia can go to the ground. He lands 1.5 takedowns per fight. I don't know if he's going to naturally go to that in this one, because I think his just default setting is to throw bombs and land them. And he's a solid striker. He's got some good wins too on the regional scene. Chepe Mariscal, Ronnie Lawrence, And then in the UFC, his wins aren't like crazy. Got the knockout win against Chase Hooper in one that was super eye-opening. But I just watch his fights, and I'm like, how has this guy not been knocked out like in a lot of these fights? Like, he's only been knocked out once. And that was to Mahashat. But he gets hit pretty hard, but he just finds a way to get out of it. Like, he got knocked down by Nurtabeke, got knocked down twice by Mahashat, got knocked down twice by Charlie Ontiveros, and he was still able to win 2 of those 3 fights. So he's a junkyard dog, and I don't think this line is giving him enough credit. So I think it's probably dog or pass in this one. I'll take Steve Garcia for the pick as well. I love watching him fight because he just goes in there and chucks. So I'll take him. Like I said, Costa, if he wants to win this fight, he's got to make it boring or maybe catch him early. Could knock him out early, but Garcia will be the pick for me. It's a good value play.